I think both sides should stay divided for eternity. Nothing good ever come out of Somalis. First of all, they brag about how they'll unify the entire Somali peninsula under one leadership. That delusional myth of Somaliweyne, that would likely never happen. Of course, it is already a debunked myth. This fictional fairy tale bullshit is what making Somalis gullible and vulnerable to subjectivity. Have they not forgotten that their ancestors were divided for centuries? Each nomadic tribal chief or the sultanate mad mullahs were plundering and raiding their rival tribesmen and selling the local minority weak clans as slaves while taking orders from their Arab Omani masters. Somalis were never united, even when the Italian and British colonialists arrived. The primitive Somali clans were competing each other to be loyal to their imperial masters in order to gain access to rifles and materials etc. so that they can raid their rival clans who are their arch-enemies. For example, the MJ and Isaac were the first Somali tribes to bend over to the white men. It's better for Somalis to be balkanized and divided due to the results of plundering and killing each other like brainless zoo animals. To safeguard their existence we need to divide them land by land. By the way, the Somalis of Djibouti would rather insert baguettes up their assholes and stay loyal to the French. The Somalis of NFD are no longer a fan of Syed Barre's delusional myth and are more centralized to be proud Kenyans. The Somalis of Ethiopia are proud Ethiopians and have realized that there was no such thing as Somaliweyne to start with. Today around 87% of Ethiopian military personnel are of Somali descent. And if a group cannot get along with each of their members, then it's safe to say that they part their journeys and move along. Look at the countries that were once part of Yugoslavia. Today they're functionally democratic and less than a war-torn hellhole they used to be back in the mid-90s. If you think that any country being balkanized means weakness, well, that's a debunked myth. Look at Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Macedonia and Montenegro. All these countries are 10 times financially stronger, stable and developed than the weak government of Somalia that only controls a tiny portion of Mogadishu. There's no such thing as negativity when these are the outcome results of an anarchy shithole. This is already a probability of what Somalia is like today and the possibility that it'll be divided into 6 mini-republics within the coming 7 years. And I hope it stays like that. I'm not hating on Somali PPL, I just hate this nonsense useless Somaliweyne ideology which seems to confuse the mass. And those who fought in the 77 wars and the post-colonial wars are probably shaking their heads, rolling in their graves with utter disappointment that their offsprings are the ones undermining every effort and steps they'd made for the Somali scramble for independence. And if there was a Somali unity, there will always be those particular individuals who'd favor nepotism over national sovereignty. What an absolute waste.